You know, everyone's warning me about volumes 21 and 22, but nobody has warned me about volume 20. Thank you very much, I guess. Yeah, so a lot happens in this volume that I was not expecting. Two major character deaths. Unless, of course, there's some way to bring particular characters back. I know there was like something suggested that maybe it could be possible if they're not like completely dead or anything. Anyways, let's just get into the thick of this volume. So this whole volume is again a battle-centric volume, and what I've come to realize about Attack on Titan as a series as a whole is even though we're fighting against gigantic titans, you know, huge monsters and whatnot, it's humans versus creatures, well, humans turned into creatures versus humans, and, you know, whatever is going on in this crazy mess of a world, what I've really noticed is that Attack on Titan is a series about war. Because more often than not, we are engaged in combat or combat strategies or ideas of how to overcome the enemy, going through different ideas of what could work, what couldn't work, the ideas and themes of like you have to make a decision right on the spot. You can't be thinking 10 steps ahead sometimes because sometimes you don't even know if you're going to get there. You have to make decisions in the moment and you have to be willing to put your life on the line. And so even though we're not dealing with a military like we know in our real world, we can kind of translate the ideas of what's happening in Attack on Titan to that kind of militaristic the world that you would live in if you were a soldier. And I'd actually be really curious to hear opinions on Attack on Titan from people that were in the military, because I'd like to see how the ideas kind of transfer into people that have actually been through combat experiences. So if you have read Attack on Titan and you're in the military or anything, if you're in the Marines or something, like let me know like if you get anything out of Attack on Titan because you've been through experiences like that. And who knows, maybe you have fought a giant titan somewhere in your life. But the thing about this volume that just blew me away is that I had no idea that these character deaths were coming up. Obviously all my reviews are spoiler filled because I'm talking about the volume as a whole, so let's just get right into it. The first one is Commander Erwin. And in the last volume, he admitted to basically himself, he's thinking to himself that all of the people that he kind of sent to his deaths, although, you know, we are fighting for humanity as a whole, it really, for him specifically, was because he wanted to find out the secrets of everything that's going on in the world, and he wanted to get to the basement. There's a great panel where he says, I just wanted to get to the basement, which I kind of laughed my ass off because that's how I've been feeling since volume 1. It's like, I just want to get to this damn basement. So I feel for Erwin, I feel him in this moment, but I feel for him as a character too, because of what happened to his father and everything and what he's gone through up to this point, and he's so close. And that's, again, I think another idea and theme going on through Attack on Titan is that, you know, whatever, regardless of what your ideas are, what your goals are for yourself, for Erwin, it's finding out the secrets of this and that. For Eren, it was, you know, am I this, like, special person that's supposed to save everybody? And for other characters, for Historia, too, and a bunch of other characters, the idea that they had about themselves was not the reality of what needed to happen for the world. And so Erwin's kind of realization that he's so damn close to his goal, he's so close to getting there, but they're in the midst of this battle and there is no way for everybody to survive without casualties. Again, a product of being in war, in the military, in these kind of battle situations where you have to make a decision. It's like you don't have time to sit here for an hour to think, oh, what should I do about this or that? It's like you have to fucking decide right now. And Erwin has to decide because he realizes that to move forward, they have to get rid of this beast titan. They have to get rid of the furry titan. The furries, they're taking over, and it's throwing boulders and rocks that are just demolishing people. And you can't get close to it because it's surrounded by other titans and whatnot. So like, there's no way. Either everybody dies or we have to sacrifice a bunch of people. That's basically what it comes down to. There's no discussion. There's no talk about anything else. There's no loopholes. This is the reality. And so Erwin and Levi decide that, like, look, Levi is the dude to do this because he is the most skilled as far as it comes to killing titans. He's the most battle experienced. He is the one willing to put his life on the line to actually fight the creature. But he has to get to the creature. So in order to do that, they have to form a distraction of the other Survey Corps kind of running out, charging in, so that the Beast Titan, the Furry Titan, will attack them and then not see Levi basically like taking down Titans one by one on his way to the Beast Titan, which was just crazy, which was awesome to see. But Erwin also understood that he couldn't get his men to do that without seeing somebody in charge rallying them. Because if he just gave an order to like, hey, go die, you know, that's not inspiring. That's just basically, it just feels like straight up murder. But if Erwin charges in himself first and people see their commander willing to be on the front lines and die with them, that increases morale to a whole nother level, where you're following somebody that you respect as a leader into this dangerous situation, knowing they're just in as much of a vulnerable spot as you are. This is something that we don't have in our modern day and age, because all our leaders sit behind desks and don't fucking do anything. They're not warriors. They're not through battle. You know, we should be picking leaders based upon. Anyways, that's a whole other topic. It doesn't have anything to do with Attack on Titan. I'm sorry. It just annoys me that we don't have leadership like this, like people that are actually willing to be on the front lines, that should deserve that kind of recognition. And Erwin has earned it. He basically tells everybody that we are going to die. Like, that's it. Like, we're gonna die right now. But we're doing it for the sake of humanity. And then it kind of leads into the idea of like, well, how valuable is life then? Because if you could just, you know, if you know, imagine feeling that. Imagine feeling that feeling where somebody just tells you that, like, you are going to die. Like, you know for a fact, 100% fact, that you will only live for another 5 minutes at best, because you're going to be charging into battle. I cannot imagine the fear, anxiety, and everything else that comes along with that, to just understand that information, to just know that you're going to die. And being able to put faith in the idea that your death will help advance humanity as a whole moving forward. Because if you could take down this threat, if we can learn more information, yada yada, you know, everything that comes along with war. You know, I don't have any context for ever being in a situation like that, and I cannot imagine the intensity of it. And it was really well done in the manga, I thought they did a great job showing the characters' reactions and really kind of harding in that, you know, putting that nail in the coffin in that you have to understand that you're going to die. So that was pretty intense. But yeah, so that was the end of Erwin, at least I believe. He might still be alive out there. I'm not sure. They might be able to do something with that. There are some teases here or there in this series, so I won't count anything as 100%, but it seems as if that his character journey has come to an end, and he had to accept that he would never find the answers that he sought out, that he would not have the purpose that he dreamed of, but he would have a different purpose for humanity as a whole, which was rough. And then of course we get Levi jumping the Furry Titan and kicking its fucking ass. Now look, there are times in shonen, the genre, for example, where there are a lot of characters that always kind of want a nice one-on-one fight, want a fair fight, want each character to power up as much as they can, to use all their abilities, so that, you know, that leads to be a more exciting battle, so to speak, because otherwise, you know, it might be boring if a character just comes up and kills another character off just like that. However, I love when they throw in the character that just doesn't give a shit and does that, where he just comes in, he doesn't care about fighting the Beast Titan, he just wants to kill it. He just comes in, slices off its arms, slices its eyes, slices its fucking Achilles, and then, like, rips the dude out of the Titan, like stabbing his sword right through the dude's face. I was like, hell yes, finally we get a nice freaking... Levi just doesn't give a shit, and all of his fight... Mikasa's like that too. It's just like, they don't care about the fight, they just want to get the fight done. They just want to kill their opponent, and I really appreciate that in characters, because a lot of times we don't get enough of that. And so very, very cool to see that Levi just taking 100%, especially with everybody sacrificing themselves too. Levi is not going to he's going to not savor this moment. He's going to take this moment to just absolutely demolish his opponent, which he does. And then, of course, he says the line of something along the lines of, if Erwin is still alive, we can use the vial of the Titan juice to turn him into a Titan, and then maybe take this guy's power. But before they get a chance to do that, he's taken away by, like, I'm just going to call it the Gimp Titan. I don't know, the four-legged thing, whatever that is. I don't know. Levi does not get the kill, and I don't know if Erwin is alive or not alive. Probably not. It seems as though that he actually did die. That was probably just Levi thinking, you know, being hopeful about the situation, but... And of course we still have Bertold and Reiner that are still around. Reiner kind of regenerates, he's back to his feet, so he's battling against the group of like Mikasa and Jean and Sasha and all them. Sasha gets injured, so I hope everything's going on okay with that, but that was a just a drop in the bucket and compared to what happens with Armin. Armin also sacrifices himself for, again, humanity, for Eren, for everything. And he's really been built up the last couple volumes, so I kind of saw something bad happening to him because he had like so many great moments towards the beginning of the series, and then he kind of like, I don't want to say pushed to the background, but just didn't do as much. And then the last like 2 or 3 volumes before this one, Armin has been doing a lot. So it kind of, I was like, yeah, I kind of saw something bad happening to Armin. Not to say that it still didn't take me by surprise by what happened. And, you know, he's kind of been given commands because he's always had that kind of foresight, you know, where he can really see a situation from all angles and be able to make correct decisions based upon that. And he's in one right now where there's this Colossal Titan that's just this gigantic, freaking huge thing that's kicking Eren around, and then he's like, what the hell do we do? What the hell do we do to defeat this thing? We got to get Bertold out. We got to slash the neck. You know, how are we going to do it? And so he decides, he comes up with this plan where he has Eren fall basically to the bottom of the wall, and to distract Bertold away from Eren hardening and then getting out of his Titan, you know, Armin takes that brunt of it. He comes up as if he's going to fight Bertold one-on-one, and he jumps forward and he attaches to the teeth, because that way it's like a hard substance that he's stuck to, and Bertold does the explosion thing that he does, basically burning Armin up in the process. And you know that Armin lied to Eren when he said, you know, if it gets too bad, I will jump out of there. You know that he was determined to, he was going to die. He was determined to die in order to defeat Bertold, which is just crazy. Again, that kind of mindset of when you've been through battles, you've been through war, and you have to put your life on the line for the betterment of humanity. You can't be thinking about yourself as an individual. You have to think of the collective whole, which, again, I can't imagine being in that kind of mindset, in that kind of setting, and how intense that would be. But it does seem to work. So Armin gets basically burned to a crisp, which was just like, I saw something bad happening to Armin, but I just didn't see it happening this way right now, this soon, I guess. You know, they have to up the stakes, and they have to show the intensity of what's happening here. And I do appreciate that about the series. I do appreciate it being, you know, if you're going to say that you were in a battle for the fate of humanity, and then you have all the characters come out of it unscathed, you really take the intensity and tension down from what the scene is. But if you show that characters that you know and love can be killed, as unfortunate as it is, it does put the stakes in the proper place that they should be for what the story is trying to talk about. So I appreciated it for that. I was sad that it had to be Armin, but it made sense for the story, it made sense for his character, it made sense from the build-up, like I said, in the last couple of volumes. And it also does succeed in a way. Bertold, I believe, is still alive, but Eren did, in just his human form, cut Bertold out of the Titan, so now he has him. So he's out of his Titan, the Beast Titan is out of his, so the only one that's left is Reiner, I believe, besides just the ancillary, like, regular, like, Goonie Titans that are running around. Yeah, and that's how this volume ends. And yeah, so I didn't know there was going to be 2 character deaths in this volume. I didn't realize the intensity of what was going on with the Survey Corps and how they would all have to ride to their deaths and everything. I love the Levi battle, with, if you can call it a battle, just the massacre of the Beast Titan. That was fantastic. It's too bad he didn't get a chance to kill him, but I'm sure there's much more to happen with that character moving forward, so I'm not necessarily surprised that Levi didn't kill him, but man was I excited when Levi fucked his shit up. That was great. All right, so the next two volumes I'm going to be doing a live reaction of, because those are the ones people are telling me that are really good and kind of change the whole game of the series, which makes sense, I do believe, because I do feel like we're at the end of an era as far as Attack on Titan goes, because of this battle, because of these character deaths, because of where we are and what we know about the Titans at this point, because things have kind of wrapped up with the Reese family and all that stuff, and it feels like it's time to step into another storyline. You know, it feels like one chapter is about to be done, that this battle is a final battle in many ways. At least as far as like the writing goes and as far as storytelling goes, it really does feel like we are at the end of like a phase 1 or phase 2 of Attack on Titan, and we're ready to move on to something else. So I'm excited to get to it. Those videos will be uploaded hopefully sometime this week. Let me know what you think of Volume 20. Put your thoughts, comments down below about the deaths of Erwin and Armin. And if there's any hope for them being still alive, please don't spoil it for me, but I'm pretty confident they're both dead. And yeah, and other than that, guys, check out the link in the description for the Discord and Patreon links if those are what you're into. There's also Twitter and Instagram if you want to follow me and just see me post pictures of my cat or whatever. Besides that, guys, thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next Attack on Titan review. Can't wait.